All right. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Connected Community Health Sport Day 119 of our bodyweight exercise program for weight loss. And I apologize. Usually I would be in my CCHS shirt this morning, but forgot to do the laundry. So it is what it is. But besides the point, I know I don't look like I'm part of the CCH crew, but I promise you, I'm one of the three co-founders of this company, and our mission is to make health and fitness more accessible, and that is one of the reasons why we are doing this live stream here. This exercise can be done with no equipment, 45 minutes of free time, and just an arm's length of space. If you got enough room to spread your arms out right here, you got enough room to get through this workout today. And things might be a little bit intense. We are on day 119. This is probably one of our tougher weeks in the program as a whole. So, just something to keep in mind here. Oh, let me put up this caption. Sorry, this will give you a little thing. So yeah, 75 seconds to work, 15 seconds rest. So we're going by, relatively quickly through this program here today. And, short rest periods, a little bit longer work periods. But, as I mentioned, one of the harder workouts in this program as a whole. Even when we get into those hour-long workouts, which is coming up relatively shortly, I mean, you're still going, we might be going 6 rounds through instead of 3 rounds through. You get an extra 15 minutes of exercise, but at the same time, you're also getting a little bit, better work to rest ratios. Might be those 40-20s, those 30-30s, 75-15, definitely on that longer end of things. So just something to keep in mind if this is feeling a little bit too intense. Maybe you're just not feeling up to it. Really highly encourage you to check out some of our full workouts from day one. Like it's mentioned, day 119, we've been progressively overloading, moving up to this point over the course of this workout or over the course of this program. So highly suggest you can check that out at our website at connectedchs.com, which probably should have had that one instead of the workout up because we're not getting into it just yet. But I am going to finish up rambling here in a second. I just wanted to finish up and share again week 33, day 119. Our topic of the week is personal finance, and our quote of the week, which I'll start you off with, is "Wealth is largely a result of habit," and that's by John Jacob Astor. And our goal is to just try to let you know about one of these pillars each week. Try to give you some information, some actionable health tips to try to what's the word would be? Well, I guess essentially just trying to help you live a healthier and happier life through these different pillars. So that being said, I don't want to ramble too much. I know you all probably just came here for the workout today. You didn't come to hear me ramble. So we'll get you right into things here. So again, 75 seconds of work, 15 seconds of rest. We got a 5-minute warm up we're going to be going through here in a second. Oh, sorry about that. Let's just get this timer. Always have some ads for some reason whenever I try to open this up as well. Oh, yeah, what do you know? All right, we got timer up. Feeling good. I hope everybody's ready because we are going to get into this here in a second. All right, without further ado, let's start it off. I'll walk you through it. Let's get to it on this fine Friday morning. Oops, I forgot to start the timer. That might help. All right, so let's just get things moving. One way I always like to start things off here. Get some of these leg swings going. Grab onto a wall for some bounce. Just let that leg swing. Get that head moving. Get some dynamic movement into this. And get ourselves ready for some of these more intense moves. I always love these swinging motions, whether it's with the arms, with the legs. Be very beneficial. Let's switch over to the other leg now. So waking up a little bit here this morning, but like they say, exercise is the best cup of coffee you can get. Trust me, you'll be feeling wide awake after this workout. Sure, you'll be feeling wide awake after, and hopefully even after this warm up. So, great job, everybody. We're just gonna get a few more leg swings here. All right, and while we're standing here, might as well do some hamstring curls here in that same position. Here, I'm just trying to bring the heel up towards the bar, getting that full range of motion in the hamstring. Again, using that balance of the wall if you need it. Maybe you want to challenge yourself. Maybe you want to go no balance at all, no wall. It's completely up to you, not necessary. Again, we're just trying to get the hamstring warmed up, get some good movement in here. We're going to be switching, going with the other hamstring now. In this program, we like to hit all the fundamental movement patterns. We're going to hit the squat, hinge, push, pull, core, you name it. So we got to prepare all these different aspects to the body, make sure everything is moving in unison, everything is feeling nice and warmed up before we get into some of these more advanced movements. And hey, it's going to be no joke today, 75 seconds of work, 15 seconds of rest. You definitely want your body warmed up for that. So let's get some arm swings in here. Same thing, I know you'll probably think that these are pretty similar to our cool down. These are just kind of general exercises, trying to hit multiple different movement patterns, trying to do something that's dynamic, preparing our body for this movement coming up. And like to pick some ones that I think kind of give you the most bang for your time, because same thing like the leg swings, you could maybe do a few different more isolated stretches, or get one more dynamic stretch. So all right, now we did those, let's do some T-spine openers. So let's get the arms right out in front like you're driving a bus. Move that arm all the way out to the wall. So I'll show from the front. We're going to be opening up, then you go with the other side. Really just trying to open up that mid back, get it ready for these exercises coming up. Great job, everybody. Let's get a few more reps in here with these. All right, awesome. So let's get two more in here. Let's get some shoulder circles. We're just going to start off small. We could draw a small circle in the air. And then you can put the palms up too. That's fine as well. Whatever your preference. Let's reverse it the other direction now, though. You start forward, go backwards. Backwards, go forwards. You're going to get all the reps in. Doesn't matter which way you start. Now let's start moving backwards. Big and backwards. Really try to open up the chest, open up the back. Get those shoulders moving. If you're feeling a little bit of burn in the shoulders here, that's completely fine. Burn is good. Pain is bad, though. We want to avoid that. Now let's start rolling the arms forward. Really big circles. Remember, really getting that chest back, shoulders all nice and warmed up. Great job with that. Let's finish up with some neck stretches. Then we're going to get right into the movement. I'm going to come down here just so it's a little bit easier for you to see what's going on. So looking to the side and looking up to the ceiling. It's like you're just trying to look in a large circle. Moving the head, moving the neck. Same thing, maybe you're just waking up. Maybe like me and you sleep with your head sideways all night. It's always good to get some neck movement in the morning. Same thing, especially if you have a desk job. Maybe you're hitting this in the morning before you head into work. Always great. Especially if you're going to be spending so much time with your neck and your head in a certain position, you want to get some type of movement. Kind of reverse those effects of being in those same patterns for long periods of time. But that being said, we are done with the warm-up. I know you're excited. I know you're getting ready for this. So let's get things underway. We got, like I said, minute and 15 seconds of work. Long time here. So pace yourself. That's going to be the name of the game today. And 15 seconds rest. So we're going to leave you a quick demo, but then we're going to be hopping into that next move relatively shortly after this, after that work period. So just, yeah. Well, I'll do my best to make it through. I'm working it all the time. That's what we got those workout lists up there. So, first time I'll make sure I spend some time getting through them all for sure. But, we might have to jump in real quick, as we move on. So, sorry, I was going to start the timer, but I'm going to demo before I start the timer. That's probably a good idea. Floor touches, deadlifts, hinge, whatever you want to call it. Just reaching down to the ground. One good way to keep in contact is to just let the hands come down the hips. You see, you get into a pretty flat back here. Maybe this is how your range of motion is going. Maybe that's how you want to get all these reps. Just letting the hands come down to the hips, getting into that hinge pattern. That's perfectly fine. Go to the range of motion. That feels good for you. But we're getting ready. We're going in 3, 2, 1, and let's begin. Minute 15. Pace yourself. I like to think it's like I'm picking an object up off the ground. I got a big box here that I'm trying to get. Same thing. You don't want to pick it up with a bent back. End up hurting those discs. You want to keep strong. Pick up with the legs, flat back. Load into the glutes and the hamstrings. Great job, everybody. Still got 40 seconds left, believe it or not. No, it almost doesn't seem real. It's going to be a little bit longer. They're going to be, let's see, we got a message here in the chat. So we got 30 seconds. Good morning, happy face. Good to see you in here. Hope you're having a wonderful morning so far. Here you go, last 15, finish strong here. If you want it warmed up after the warm-up, I hope you're feeling it now. Great work, everybody. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and done. Really good job of that 15 seconds. Next, you got row and external rotation. We standing nice and strong. Row in, external back in. And so, a little bit row with external rotation. 3, 2, 1, and go. I'll show from the side. Bring the elbows in. This one will definitely get those external rotators right in the back of the shoulder burning. Keep moving, everybody. See, we got another message in the chat. What's something unusually insulting but not at Thanksgiving? Wait, it's usually insulting but not on Thanksgiving. A family member giving you the bird. I love it. I love it. Let's keep moving, everybody. And I just want to share something now since we got a little bit of time here in the end of this exercise. Is that previously we were restreaming 24/7 on Twitch. We're realizing that can be annoying with the notifications. We don't think it's our best, avenue for growth. And so now we will just be restreaming, or we will just be replaying our live streams. Or not replaying our live streams. Hold on. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then I'll tell you after this because we got to go in quick. This next move, we got vertical press, punch through the ceiling. It's like you're reaching overhead, like you got to get something up that top shelf. We got 3, 2, 1, go, and let's reach, punch through the ceiling. We can go both at a time if you're really feeling it, or one at a time. Doesn't matter to me. Keep moving, everybody. But what I was saying is that our only live stream from now on is going to be those live workouts. Try to take some of that confusion out for people that have been tuning into our replays. And we really want to try to direct everybody towards our YouTube to see some of our previous workouts. We have playlists with our trainers. So, really encourage everybody to get involved. Check those out on YouTube or Facebook if you're looking to find some of our previous workouts. We will not be replaying some of these because there's been some confusion on, are you live? Are you not live? People trying to send us messages, not realizing that it's a replay. And, we don't want to, rub anybody the wrong way by, giving them by making them feel like we're not there to answer their questions or support them in their health goals. So we really want to only be streaming here on Twitch now unless we are live. So just keep that in mind going forward. Not going to be doing those restreams. 3, 2, 1, and done. Really good job. All right, we got our cross body crunch. So if we go in this march, bring the knee across the body. We can be going single on and switching halfway. Or, our last variation, Clay calls them the challenge variations. This one is pretty tough, I might add. Very hard to make it to the full 75 even for myself. So you're going to be on the ground. I like to put the hands on my head to support the neck. And one leg is going to be straight, the other one is going to be bent. You'll be reaching towards that knee. It's like you're kind of doing a crunch to one side, but that is our kind of challenge variation. Really tough move, but take your pick. Maybe you want to shout out a few different ones. Whatever's feeling good for you. I'm going to be working with those standing variations. We're going in 3, 2, 1, and let's begin. Coming across the body each and every rep. Good work, everybody. And again, this is one, don't feel like you have to use that same range of motion. You could be, coming across the body. If you want to just get that knee moving, you don't got to go crazy. You don't got to go all the way to the elbow. You got to do what works good for you, or, maybe it's feeling a little bit unbalanced up here. This is a great variation to grab onto the wall. The wall is your friend. Come into the knee. Same thing, you choose that pace. Maybe you want to go 5, and maybe you're switching sides, going the other way. We want to supply variations that really everybody can get involved with this one. You choose the pace, you choose the tempo, you choose the intensity. I'm just here to give you a few suggestions, give you a few options here in the workout, but really, you are in control. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. And great job, everybody. We got our crunch is done. Now we got our squats. We're just going to be working with some body weight squats. Obviously, we got a few different variations. We just be going body weight. We can use the edge of a chair or a couch. We could be doing some squat jumps, but we probably won't be doing those for 75 seconds. But get ready. We're going in 3, 2, 1. And begin. I'm just working with some body weight squats again. There's a few different variations here. We were doing some lateral squats in the past. Obviously, those are an option. In these a little bit longer intensity, I do, feel more comfortable with these body weight squats for today. But same thing, maybe you're really feeling crazy, feeling like ramping it up. Maybe you want to get a little bit of plyometric in here. Not necessary at all by any means. Good way to destroy your quads in a good way, but that's going to be a very high intense variation. So if you're feeling like you really got to pace yourself to this workout, if you're feeling like the energy's depleted a little bit already, I suggest staying away from those squat jumps because those ones can be extremely fatiguing. Even just getting a few reps in. 3, 2, 1, and really great job. So next we got our push-up. Remember, we can do our push-ups from the wall. The further the feet are away, the harder that's going to be. We can be going from our knees, from the floor. We also be working with these fly variations, just open, closing the chest. We're going to get going in 3, 2, 1, and begin. I'm going with that fly variation. Do the same thing. We are in a 5-day-a-week program. Doing those push-ups 5 days a week for, 75 seconds per set. That's a lot of time spent doing push-ups. That can be really intense. Your muscles aren't going to, necessarily always going to recover overnight. You might still have a little bit of soreness. So this is a great way to still get some of that chest movement, still get that, movement pattern in. in a less intense variation. Same thing, or maybe you do usually do your push-ups from the knees. Maybe you're gonna do them from the wall for today. The same thing. I don't think going max intensity on your push-ups, 5 days a week in a row, is necessarily the best thing for your body. It's not that I think it could be, necessarily bad, but depending on how your body is recovering and, depending how much other non-repetitive movement in your chest muscles are getting. But here we go. 3, 2, 1, and great job. So, push-ups done. We got D2, and then we'll finish up with some boxing. For D2, again, reaching up on that cupboard, up on that shelf. Bring it back in your pocket. 3, 2, 1, and let's begin. Same thing, just like those D1s where we were coming across the body, getting that external rotation. Now we are reaching up, same pattern, but diagonal. Try to keep the core, hips facing forward. Just let that arm reach across the body. And put that imaginary object in your pocket. Great job, everybody. Keep it up. Really love this variation, especially in conjunction with those push-ups and those flies. Getting a little bit of variety in that motion, but still definitely getting the chest involved a little bit here with this one, even if it's not really as active or intense. A lot of the stress could be being placed on the traps, some of these shoulder muscles, but I can say for myself, especially when the chest feeling a little bit tight after doing some of those sets of push-ups, that these can really feel great. All right, finish strong here with this move, everybody. We got 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and done. Great job. Last move here in the first round. We still got 2 more coming up after that, so don't go anywhere. We got boxing. Show me your inner Mike Tyson. And we're just punching in place. 3, 2, 1, and let's go. Speaking of Mike Tyson, just random. I was actually watching the documentary about him and Evander Holyfield. And wow. Really did, at least I can say for myself, really did miss Mike Tyson's best years in the ring. And even, things went south with the ear biting and whatever was going on in that match. But, I mean, what a spectacular boxing match besides that aspect. So also, I noticed it was like, this is just random, I'm kind of just rambling to myself, but they were, I don't even know. It's like they were boxing so close quarters that they were like practically headbutting each other, like on like every other punch. So it's like not only are they punching each other in the head, they're actually headbutting each other. That probably can't be good for you. All right, great job, everybody. Come on, finish strong here. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and done. All right, everybody, that is 1 round down. They don't give you much of a break here in the CCHS program, at least not here on day 119. You got 5 seconds. We're going back into those hinge, back into those deadlifts. We're going to 3, 2, 1. Let's begin. Find that rhythm, find that pace. One thing I like to do as soon as I kind of feel like I'm getting in a good rhythm, I'm getting good form, good range motion. Sometimes it just helps kind of getting in that rhythm, getting that consistent pace. That's one thing, while a lot of these moves, sometimes it might feel a little bit awkward at first. You're still getting the form down. Maybe you have to kind of, think about the processes of the movement a little bit more. After a while, you won't have to think about it too much. It becomes almost automatic. You're organizing around an external goal and just kind of letting your brain coordinate the rest, not really getting in its way. Same thing I could say after 119 days of this program, along with, doing exercise on my own for years before this. I could say that over the years, my squat and hinge pattern, if just the more you do it, the better you get at it. So it's like you spend that time, keep putting in the work, keep putting that consistency. Eventually, you won't have to be thinking about it too much. 3, 2, 1, and done. Really good job. Row to external rotation. One of my new favorites here. Definitely gets the shoulders feeling great after this, in my opinion. 3, 2, 1, and let's go. Now, this one that might burn some of those smaller muscles out in the shoulder, some of these external rotators. But I could say, I kind of mentioned this a little bit last time on stream, but we spend a lot of our day in this hunched forward position, whether you have a desk job, things like that. Maybe if you're just looking on your phone, you have your shoulders in front of you, head looking down. It's like things are all kind of caving in this way in a sense. So this can kind of give you the ability to kind of reverse some of that aspect. A little bit of different motion. Let's see, we got another comment in here. Oh, want to become famous by followers. I will pass. I think we're doing all right. Slow and steady growth. Slow and steady wins the race, right? And be buying followers out here. 20 more seconds, come on. Great job, 10 more seconds. Here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and done. Great job. We got raised the roof. I know we're hitting the shoulders a little bit back to back here. Definitely going to get them burning. We got our raised the roof. Remember, pace yourself. Come on. 3, 2, 1, and let's go. Punch through that ceiling. Organize around that external goal. Let your brain do the thinking. That sounds a little stupid, but same thing. A lot of times we can kind of get in our brain's way of coordinating the body by using our own, internal demands. We say, hey, when we put our arm over our shoulder, we think, we should be feeling this certain sensation, but that might not, be optimal. Maybe that's a sensation that you've associated with punching the arm overhead or moving the arm overhead. That doesn't mean that it is, the most optimal pattern. That's why, I like to kind of just let the brain take over. Say, what's my goal here? I want to punch through the ceiling. I'm literally, the only thing I'm focused on is, how would I break the ceiling, with my fist, with a punch? And then, based on that goal, my brain is going to find the most efficient way to coordinate that body, given my constraints, my movement abilities, etc., etc. Here you go, 10 more seconds. Hope you're feeling the burn here. Come on, finish strong. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and done. We got cross body crunch in 10 seconds. Remember, we can be going standing across the body. We can be going from the wall. We can be going from the ground. I think I'm going to try out the ground this time. We're going 3, 2, 1, and let's begin. Remember, as I mentioned, this is one of the tougher variations here. This is kind of our challenge core. Maybe you want to start like this. Maybe you're going to give it a few things. And remember, again, these are 75 seconds. So maybe you're halfway through this and you're like, I need a break. My core is burning. Give it a few seconds and like, all right, I'm ready. Let's get back in it. Jump back in. Don't feel like you got to get every second. If you're here working, you're here trying to get better. That's really all that matters. You're still going to get a good workout, I promise you, even if you don't get every second of this workout. Come on, 30 to go. Let's finish strong. Seconds. My core is burning. This is a tough move. 10 seconds to go. Finish strong. 3, 2, 1, and done. That one is tough. I don't care what variation you're going with. 75 seconds of core. That's going to burn. We got squats in 3, 2, 1, and let's begin. one more minute. No, it's not a great call. You're like, yeah, great, another minute. That's good to know. I'm sorry. Sometimes you just gotta call it out. Great job, everybody. Keep moving. Find that squat pattern again with the squat pattern. Range motions to get better over time. Maybe you're feeling, just getting those knees bent. I think this is pretending like you're sitting in a chair. The same thing, you don't have to go. You gotta go in the range motion that works for you. What feels natural, what feels comfortable, what feels doable on that day. It could be different day to day, week to week. So really listen to your body, do what's feeling right. Good work. 3, 2, 1, and done. We got D2 up next. And I'm just gonna be coming down on my knees, so it's a little bit easier to see. But reach. Oh wait, we got push-ups, flies. I lied. Don't listen to me. We got push-ups or flies from the ground, from the wall. Whatever's feeling good for you. I gotta reset the timer. 3, 2, 1, and let's go. I'm gonna be going from the ground, from my knees. Remember, 75 seconds of push-ups. You might have to mix it up. Really intense stuff here. Remember, don't get discouraged if you're just joining in now. Day 119 here. So you can guess we've been progressing right along over 119 days of exercise. Same thing. This isn't 119 days straight. The same thing where don't do anything on the weekends. We started off 3 days a week, then we went to 2 days a week. We started 3 days a week, then 4 days a week, and now we're in 5 days a week. So there's some space in between, and this has been going for a good 9 months, I would say now. Good 8, 9 months. Can't really believe it, but it's pretty cool in retrospect to think about. Again, here with these push-ups, another variation here. You can just be holding the bottom, still gonna be using those chest and those back muscles. Gotta find what works good for you. You can see I've been really pacing myself. I've been taking some time at the top. 3, 2, 1, and done with those. Great job with the push-ups, everybody. We got our D2 now for real. Lied about it a little bit the first time, but reaching across that body, grabbing up off that shelf. 3, 2, 1. It's like you're putting those dishes away. Maybe you're taking that dish down off the top cabinet. Trying to make some movements or utilize. I'm not going to say make movements. I didn't make any of these, I promise. A lot of people try to take credit for, I wouldn't say inventing it, different exercises or different variations, but in the fitness world, nothing is truly original in my opinion. It's just kind of taking bits and pieces from, what works. Trainers of the past that have put forth a lot of these great ideas, a lot of these researchers. And so you kind of got to take a little bit of pieces from everybody because nobody's entirely right. I'm sure we're not even entirely right. I actually know we're not entirely right. We're using the research. We're trying to apply it to the best of our abilities, but there can always improve. There can always be better ways to do things. And I'm sure research will, discover these new ways as we keep moving forward. We are done boxing. Last time in the second round, then you got one more time through, believe it or not. And then we will finish things off. We got boxing going. 3, 2, 1, and let's go. The goal is to just keep these arms moving this whole time. Doesn't matter how fast. Maybe you want to take some time. Maybe you're focusing on your form. Like it's a martial arts kata. Maybe you're throwing some power into it. Whatever's feeling good for you. Remember, I'm just here to give you suggestions. You're in control. You're deciding what you're going to do today. Good work, everybody. Come on. 30 seconds. And that's it for this second round. One more to go after this. You got this. Here we go. Come on. Keep moving. Here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Done. Great, great, great job. All right. We are back to the top. I'm going to get a drink really, really quick before we go into those deadlifts. Not going too far. I'm just right off screen to the side here. All right, let's get back to it. All right. So, back on the top, hinge, 8 exercises, 75 seconds apiece. 3, 2, 1, and begin. How many reps are you going to get this time? Maybe you want to challenge yourself. That's a great way to go through this workout as well. Maybe you're like, hey, the first time I got through this, maybe I got 30 hinges in. Now next time we're going for 32, 35. Or maybe you're saying, hey, it's the last round. If I could get back up to that same number I did the second round, that's a huge thing because, fatigue definitely can play a major factor here in the workout. How many reps you can get, even the quality of our reps. Something interesting. I'm not sure how it applies to exercise, but I know it applies to running. For some reason, made me think of a research study I read a while back talking about the symmetry and limb movements when running when you become fatigued. And they've actually found in some studies that as you're running, as you're reaching a greater state of fatigue, you are actually moving in better symmetry with your limbs compared to unfatigued. And so I do want to touch more about that in a second, just because I think it's cool. It'll give me something to talk about. But remember, row, pull back, external rotation, bring it back, and push forward. You got 10 seconds. Give you a little bit of an extra break here. Here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and let's begin. But the study was looking at people who were running on a treadmill. Once they were reaching a certain threshold of fatigue, which I believe they were measuring by lactate buildup. I know that might not be the most direct factor of how fatigued they are, but that's a good biomarker to know when we are, not cycling through that. But so I'm losing my train of thought. I got distracted. Okay, essentially what they're finding is that, people had a slight asymmetries in limb movements when running, when they were fresh on the treadmill, and as they became more fatigued, it was actually, less efficient patterns, but they were in greater symmetry. So it's almost like once you become a full point of fatigue, you're maybe not so focused on what you're doing internally. The body's just taking over and doing its thing, and what do you know, becomes more symmetrical as well, interestingly enough. 10 more seconds. Wow, my external rotators are going to be feeling good after this workout. I know Seth needs this Mr. Bench Press over there. I'm sure he won't see this, but I'll bust on him for it. Start working his athletic training, getting back into his powerlifting days, where he might barely be able to touch his back, but we're not going to bust on him too much here. We got to raise the roof. 3, 2, 1, punch the ceiling. We're punching. The shoulder is going to be burned today. In a good way, though. Always in a good way, right? Remember, like you're trying to break through that ceiling. Remember, if your full range of motion isn't all the way overhead, go in the range of motion that works for you. Maybe, Same thing. It's the difference between maybe if to get full overhead, you got to bend back a little bit. That's not going to help us too much if you got to, bend to the back. A common one also here is, bend to the side so you can feel like you're getting, more straight overhead. Work within the range of motion you have. If, maybe it's not all the way, that's completely fine. That's your full range of motion. Same thing. How do you get that better? Keep moving the range of motion you have. Keep staying consistent at it. Try to improve. And I promise it will get better. It's all about that consistency. All about sticking to it. And that's why we're here. Why I'm here. Motivate you, help you reach your health and fitness goals. Come on, finish stronger. 3, 2, 1. Great job. We got our cross body crunch. I'm going to be doing some of these standing variations. I was doing it like this. I did last set on the ground. That was tough. And now we're going from the wall for this last set. We're going in 3, 2, 1. And same thing. I'm going to be going, I think I'm going to go every 10 reps. I'm going to switch sides. But same thing. Maybe you want to switch every 3. Maybe you want to switch every 5. Great job, everybody. And I'm going back to the other side. I would switch this like by time. But, we're all going at a different pace. I don't want someone to be uneven on one side compared to the other. All right, come on, you got 25 seconds. Let's finish strong. All right. I'm doing 3 here, so I keep even. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And great job. All right, cross body crunch is 4 more moves, believe it or not. We got squats coming in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And let's begin. And I know I've been going with the body weight squat pattern, but this sit to stand, use a chair, use a couch, great variation. I think that's what I'm going to be working with. Sometimes, weirdly enough, I actually feel my quads working a little bit more when I go into the sit to stand compared to, a body weight squat. Don't ask me why that happens, but there must be a difference in the way I'm coordinating sitting to standing, the way I'm coordinating the squat, which in retrospect, there really shouldn't be that much difference. I know you're completely relaxing. You're kind of disengaging the movement pattern when you kind of completely relax right here. Then you're having to re-engage that pattern as you stand back up. But it just goes to show that there still could be slight differences, even though they feel the same. I think it feels a little bit more in the hip flexors here when I'm doing these sit to stands. So, accomplishing the same goal, getting the same movement pattern, you might feel them a little bit differently both ways. But, relatively the same. I really could not tell you why. Other thing is it's whether you're disengaging and really re-engaging, or kind of in that body weight squat, you might kind of be keeping that tension, that whole movement. 3, 2, 1, and done. So it was kind of abrupt ending. We got our push-ups, we got our flies. Take your pick. I think I'm going to do a little bit of both. I think we're going to start off with some push-ups, finish out with some flies. So we're going to 3, 2, 1, and let's begin. Same thing, we can go to the push-ups first. And same thing, it's a great strategy. When you start feeling fatigued, like, I don't know if I can keep up with this. Roll over on the back, get some flies. Maybe you're doing them from the wall. You could stand up and do the flies. Same thing, that wall, even though I don't have the best wall for the variation, the wall push-ups, great variation, especially in these 5-day-a-week segments, to still be getting that push motion, but a little bit less intense variation. You got 20 more seconds, come on. I'm going to switch to flies, finish up the last 15 on the ground. Because same thing, it's always good to have options. If it's not feeling right, maybe it's not that you don't have the fatigue. Maybe it's just, feeling like the movement pattern's a little bit off. Maybe it's not feeling right. 3, 2, 1, and done. All right, we got D2 in boxing. I'm going to be showing the D2 from the ground again. Remember, reaching up to that shelf, getting that plate off the shelf. 3, 2, 1. Reach into the pocket. Reach into the pocket. Like you're trying to reach diagonal across the body, and same thing here. It's not a straight arm down. Pull it into the pocket. Keep the arm close to the body. Great work. Smooth and steady. Great job, everybody. Come on. More than halfway. Just this and one more move. Come on, you got this. I know you're working hard. Come on, 30 seconds. Home stretch. That's how you do it, everybody. Come on, 20 more seconds. Good work. Here you go, final 10. Maybe pick it up here. Come on, challenge yourself. Here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Done. Really, really good job. Last move. You got a minute and 15 seconds of boxing in place. What do you got left in the tank? How fast are you going to go? 3, 2, 1. Let's get it moving. Maybe you're going for speed here. Maybe you're going for form. Maybe you're going for power. There's different options. Just keep those arms moving. We're not punching and knocking anybody out here. I mean, you can practice like you are. Hopefully you're doing that for self-defense purposes. Not just wailing on somebody. Not that I'm insinuating that any of you would do that. But my point is being, I'm not a boxing instructor, not a self-defense instructor. We're doing this for a workout session. If my punches, you're like, what is this guy doing on the camera? These don't look like some punches. I'm trying my best out here. Come on. Last 20 seconds. What do you got in the tank? Give it your all here at the end. Burn yourself out. Last move. 10 seconds. Come on. Come on, get right. Last bit here. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And done. Really, really great job. I will be right back. I'm going to get too cold. I got to run the bathroom real quick. Give me 2 seconds. All right, we are back. I apologize. Let's get into this cool down. Apologize. There you go. You get a little cool down here, just sitting here, relax and breathe. And that's a cool down, right? Well, kind of. The breathing aspect can definitely help you with the cool down, giving yourself some time to relax. But we got to cool down some of these muscles too. Get some good movement in here. Same thing. I like to finish off some of the same ways we started because some of these moves are great for a warm up, great for a cool down. This is great for getting the body moving in general with some low intensity movement. So that's why I really like these. Really just love these swing motions. I know you've heard me talk about them so many times. You're probably wondering why we've done them so many times. I mean, honestly, in my opinion, they feel great. They get this hip capsule moving. Gives you some, great, variability in your swing because you're never going to be swinging them at the same speed to the same height. Might be very similar, but it's never going to be exactly the same. 2 times in a row. Let's move on to the other leg now. And just kind of defending myself of why you see this exercise so often here in the program. And the same thing, we really like to try to make this accessible for everybody. So, we try to keep a lot of these movements, standing based. You don't have to keep constantly going to and from the ground. Obviously, we have some variations that are from the ground. But, we don't want to have, there might be a little bit more options when you incorporate the ground, but we don't want to, exclude anybody. So we want to make sure that we have variations that can be done, both ways, sitting or standing, from the ground or standing. So now, again, let's get some of the hip moving a little bit of a different way now. We're going to be going out to the side. I can show from here. It's the same thing. We're just getting that hip out a little bit. Same thing. We're doing the same thing, so just grabbing onto the wall. Getting a little bit to that side. So you can let this kind of come across the front leg as well. The same thing. Sometimes that could be a little bit uncomfortable on the knee that is stationary. So, if that's feeling a little bit iffy, I wouldn't go, cross in front of that other leg. We're going to be hitting the other side now. Same thing. I'm going to let it come a little bit across the other knee, but same thing. This might not feel comfortable for everybody. I know sometimes it doesn't even feel comfortable for myself, depending on how I'm feeling that day. So something one thing you might just kind of have to test out. All right, great job. Now moving on to the shoulders a little bit here. I'm going to be doing, like I like to call it, just a morning stretch. It's like that good stretch when you're just waking up in the morning and you feel that through your whole spine, to your legs, from your toes to the top of your head. I want to try to reenact that stretch right here. So one thing I like to do is kind of swing the arms up all the way above head, really reach up high to the sky, and spread the elbows out wide. The same thing. We're just going to repeat that a few times. And then stretch out the shoulders, stretch out the back. Great job here. We're going to get a few reps of that. Really love this one here. And the same thing, another great thing about these movements is a lot of these patterns are things you are going to want to carry out through the rest of your day. So, you might be wondering why we don't spend a lot of time doing some of these more static stretching, these, hold the shoulder, 10 count type of stretches, because, there's a lot of reasons for that. Some arguing the effectiveness of doing these in short-term patterns without actually changing tissue length, going from that aspect of research, but also just going to the effects that, a lot of these patterns are things that you want to transfer. Like if you were doing a sit to stand with the squat, those patterns that you might go and replicate, in 20 minutes, after this thing. So you kind of want to keep some of these patterns to an extent. Obviously, if things are really sore, you want to be able to stretch them out, get things moving well. But, a lot of these are aimed to be transferable to everyday life in the same aspect. So you can, next time you got to pick something up off the ground, you're going into that hinge pattern instead of, using the back and things of that nature. So, again, another one, just kind of getting the shoulders moving. I like to call these the self hugs. You give yourself a pat on the back, give yourself a hug, because you did such a great job today in the workout. Just keep moving. Get those arms swinging. Great job here today, everybody. And we'll finish up with some lat. Sorry, there was something on the rug. I thought I spilled something, but where was I? Sorry, distraction. We can do this from a seated position. You're just gonna stand or sit, extend the leg. You can also do the same thing from the ground. Same thing, just extending the leg. One of my favorite ones, if the knees are not feeling great, this could be a special one. I highly suggest even everybody does this, multiple times throughout the day. I love doing these just laying in bed at night as well. Restore some of that range of motion to the knee, get some of this knee flexion, knee extension, moving well. Great job. Same thing, you get a few on each side. Great job, everybody. All right, let's finish up with some deep breathing while I talk to you a little bit about what's going on next week, what you can expect moving forward, this, that, and the other thing. So take some deep breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth. Let that air, when you're taking that breath in, you want to feel the stomach expand with air, and then as you're going out, feel that stomach kind of deflate a little bit as you are finishing up that breath. So try to get at least 10 breaths right here while you're working through that. And you don't have to be moving too much. You can just listen to me talk a little bit here. So let's chat. Let's chat. So again, topic of the week, personal finance. And our challenge of the week, which I hope is going well for everybody, is to remove one unnecessary spending habit. Pick just one habit that and where ending it is sustainable. Perhaps it's something just a convenience purchase, or perhaps something that doesn't serve you. But just trying to go without it and see how you do. So one thing that I tried to do this week that has always been a difficulty for me is trying to go this week without ordering any takeout. Sometimes between training sessions, things like that, my schedule can get pretty busy. So, I have found myself maybe 1 or 2 nights a week getting some takeout, which I really, don't need to be spending the money on. Should be meal prepping at home, should be saving that money. And so this week, my goal was to, no takeout this week. Let's try to save some money. Come on, I don't need to be doing that. And so we didn't do it. And, we probably saved $25, $30 this week, potentially. So there's my one. If anybody in the chat here wants to share something that what they were doing for their financial goal, but I know this can be a pretty tough task here. The same thing if it's convenient, something that's kind of became a habit. Mainly for me, it's always been like Tuesday nights. Usually a day where I end up getting takeout, and so it's like it's just sometimes just habit. Being prepared for these situations and knowing, same thing when I was new into going this week, I knew I wasn't going to try to get takeout. So, I had to, plan ahead and do other things to work around this. And so same thing, that's really the thing. And, think about that, $30, over multiple weeks, if I was able to do this every week, same thing, you save a lot of money in the long run. And same thing, you think about how this goes in conjunction with something that's unsustainable already. Maybe it's something you've been wanting to do. Maybe that thing that's really been a financial burden. Maybe it's something like smoking, where, I can't say the exact numbers off my head, but think about it. I know in New York State, a pack of cigarettes is going for over $10. If you're buying, 1-2 packs a week, that's still, $20 a week, 52 weeks in a year. You're really getting up there with those spending habits and adding that year over year. So, obviously we want everybody to be healthy. We don't want anybody, having the negative effects of smoking and things like that in that nature. So, if that's not the aspect that's motivating you, think about it from the financial aspect. And, you could even make it the thing. It's like, hey, all that money I save from cigarettes, in the next month, 2 months, 3 months, I'm going to use that money and I'm going to treat myself, maybe I'm going to treat myself to a nice dinner, take your significant other out on a nice date. Maybe just treat yourself with, maybe go get a massage or something like that. Who knows? So, take that money that was impacting you in a negative way, spending money on something that you don't necessarily need. Use that to spend money on something that will serve you, serves your health, serves your well-being. And yeah, that was kind of our challenge of the week. So now this will be ending off our Friday. We're going to be going into a little bit of a regression here. Like I said again, this week was very, very intense. If this was feeling, whoa, where did this come from? Don't worry. This was, in my opinion, one of the hardest sessions in our whole program. Obviously, the weeks get harder because we're increasing how many days per week. We're increasing the length of the workout. But normally, this is one of our longest. I think it is the longest work to rest ratio in our program. Is this 75-15. So if you're making this workout, you were even able to make it through half of that workout today. Still very, very impressive. A lot of tough moves, a lot of tough variations. So, props to you for really getting through that today. So with that being said, want to just reiterate this again, that we previously have been replaying 24/7 on Twitch, and we're just realizing that's probably not the best way to go about it. Although we'd love to have that accessibility where everybody can just pop in on Twitch, catch us live. We're technically not live, we're technically replay. We feel like the best avenue is, directed to the YouTube, directed to the Facebook. We have all these videos that are recorded anyways. There's no sense of kind of cluttering things up here on Twitch. Obviously a great way to get exposure, but there's also a lot of people trying to contact us, say, hey, hello, and then they're on the replay and they might not realize, I'm like, hey, what's going on with this guy? He's not even answering me in the chat. And so, we want to be there to help everybody. I'd feel really bad if somebody was in there asking for, some serious health tips or, maybe kind of give them their story about things. And then, we're not there to answer them. That's, has dawned on us a few times. And we've realized that we've actually got more comments, during our replay streams than our live streams. And, obviously that kind of makes sense because previously we were live for 1 hour a day and replaying for 23 hours a day. So, it would make sense we get, more comments and views in our, replay streams, but, we just don't want to, maybe turn people off by, not being there to answer their questions because, that's why we're doing this. We want to help you. And, if we're not there to answer your questions, how much of a help can we really be? So, those workouts will still always be there. You'll always be able to check out that YouTube, always be able to check out the Facebook and catch these workouts, just clicking on the previous workout. So just want to throw that out there for everybody watching. And, on that note, again, thank you all. Really appreciate this opportunity to even be here in front of you all, trying to help you reach your health and fitness goals. Something that feels great, whether I'm helping, one person or 100 people, something I love doing, something I'm passionate about. And, just feels great to have this platform and to have this opportunity, try to help people through this. So I just want to say thank you for being here. Thank you for supporting this. And I hope you all have a great rest of the day, great rest of your weekend. Tune in live, week 34 coming up, day 120 coming in Monday, 7:30. Remember, all stream times. I think we got a link for it. I might just throw it up here. Yeah, why not? Here we go. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 7:30 a.m. Eastern time. Tuesday, Thursday, 12 p.m. So that being said, again, thank you all for being here. Really appreciate this opportunity. And I hope you all have a great rest of the day. Jacob signing out.